Today I am Durag Ripper. I already know people see this, see Spider-Man. They think I'm going to be dunking on it, talking about some social bull crap that was put in it. No, that has nothing to do with what I'm going to be talking about today. I'm going to be honest, though. I haven't played this game. Not going to play it, more likely. Yes, I did stream the first Spider-Man, even the Miles Morales DLC, but we won't be doing it here. I've already given you my reasons as to why that is the case. But I have watched, of course, other people play it, namely my man Sphere the Beardo. Shout out to him. And there was something that happened, and I think there's some things that we can learn from this. So I'm going to just go ahead and press play on this and watch him. Go follow my man Sphere the Beardo on YouTube as well as on Kick, which is where I watched him. Okay, so you're seeing Scream, the symbiote that is, okay, fighting his Spider-Man. I saw this happen, and spoiler alert, this Scream, by the way, and they show it play out, which is weird, is Mary Jane. Now, I didn't understand it, and I thought maybe I missed some context after explaining this stuff to everybody. There was no context that was missing. First of all, oh, man, where do I start? So Venom isn't who most people are going to associate with probably Eddie Brock. That's not who he is. Spoiler alert again. Nonetheless, it's just really as simple as Venom that is, just turns MJ into Scream. Made no sense whatsoever, but that's what happened. And then she's colorful and yada yada. That turns into Scream. Now, the angle that I'm taking from this, that I want you to consider, isn't that, yeah, it doesn't make sense that MJ, if you are a comic book reader, that's never happened. Okay? That is one bit. And yes, while technically the argument is to be made that Venom, these other symbiotes like Scream did come from Venom, but not in the way that, oh, I'm just Venom, I'm just going to touch this person and then bam, they're going to be a symbiote. No, obviously it was forceful. The spawn was forcefully extracted from Venom, right? And that obviously became Scream after meshing up. I think Donald was the first one, if I'm not mistaken. After mashing up with them and then become Scream, yada, yada. This was just, hey, you want to be a symbiote? Here, and then bam. So the angle that I want to take here, though, I guess we could technically let that play. But I think there's something to learn here as to why, and I've mentioned this a million times, despite Spider-Man, and this is going to sell so much, man. This is going to make a killing, this damn game. It's going to have almost no translation to comic books. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has the same thing. And the reason why that is the case is because I get it. You're going to say, oh, it's just a different universe. Who cares? Blah, blah, blah. That's what you always say when there's such a deviation where the character is unrecognizable. But what you don't seem to get is that, yes, it can be difficult to follow between all the reboots. DC is worse than Marvel on that. But Marvel isn't good in terms of continuity purposes. They don't even care about that seemingly anymore. But imagine if I played this game. I'm like, oh, Scream. So MJ becomes Scream. I never knew that. I guess I'll go read some books. Come to find out, that never happened. That's not a thing. And then that's not a thing in terms of how Scream becomes to be. It's just what? So it's unrecognizable. That can be said about a multitude of other characters as well. And I think that is why there's almost no correlation when you see some success in a certain part of the media or a medium, and it doesn't translate at all, hardly, to increase of sales in comics, because they're only the characters in name and likeness in terms of how they look, and that's about it. But as far as who they are, if you're a fan of them, you're going to go to the books and you're going to be reading a completely different character, and I think most people know that, if you can find them. Most of them are going to know that. But Japanese do this really well. Anime sells to manga, manga sells to anime. Almost a direct one-by-one. Almost. In fact, when it deviates a little too much, people start getting mad. This is why our code of ethics is the way that it is with the company, because I think a lot of folks sleep on that aspect of it. And some because you just want to enjoy it. I get it. And this, I wasn't saying this to even dunk on anybody here. I'm just giving you that perspective as to why I think that it's important that there's at least a big time connection between these character stories it is that you're telling. I get it. The medium's different. So the medium changes from comic to an animation or a video game, and one's a little more robust, a little more flexibility, a little more, you got to fill in the gaps a little bit. Totally understand that. But there still needs to be, if people are going to be incentivized to get into it in another medium outside of just like that one that, like in this case, a video game, some level of connection. And I think that's what's missing with modern entertainment, in that you're just reading completely different characters, man. They're only them in name. So what the Japanese do very, very well. But I tried to make sense of this whole Scream thing, and I just couldn't.